I want to go now to the United Kingdom. European Conservative leaders have embraced Donald Trump's warnings about societal decay in a bid to bolster their push for tougher migration controls and greater nationalist influence across the EU.
They talk, but they don't produce. I think they're weak, but I also think that they want to be so politically correct. I think they don't know what to do. They want to be politically correct, and it makes them weak. That's what makes them weak.
Joining me now, Sky News contributor, News Corp Australia's European correspondent, Sophie Ellsworth. Sophie, I opened the show talking about the migration debate that's in its embryonic stage here in Australia, the coalition dipping its toe into the water. But there's been obviously a long-standing debate in the Northern Hemisphere, particularly about the boat travel into the United Kingdom. But Donald Trump has really thrown sort of a gauntlet out there to the Europeans more broadly, hasn't he?
He absolutely has, Peter, and his messaging is resonating with an awful lot of people here in the UK and across Europe. And the National Rally's leader in France, Jordan Bardella, has met with Reform UK leader Nigel Farage this week and says if he does win the French presidential elections in 2027, he will unite with Farage, who he believes will be the next Prime Minister here in the UK, to stop those illegal boat crossings across the English Channel. Peter, this is arguably the hottest issue here in the UK. I was at an event last night with the Spectator magazine where they said the biggest issue here in the UK right now is illegal migration, and that is something I believe will not be going away and something that the Labor government cannot shake.
And I made this point at the top in relation to the coalition policy here, but it's very, very real for you. It's not just the quantum of people coming, it's the quality of the person coming. Are they joining Team Britain, or are they just living in Hotel Britain? And in your case, that's not just a literary point. I mean, they are literally being housed on the taxpayer pound in hotels and places all across the United Kingdom, much to the anger of local residents. And there's even this army base in East Sussex where people are being housed or will be housed that's got locals wanting to take the government to court.
Well, that's exactly right, Peter. The communities now are pushing back. They're fed up. These housing asylum seekers in these hotels where they're given, warm rooms, they're given accommodation, they're given money, and they're allowed to go about their merry way. And the British public are fed up to the back teeth about this. And this is what is really dogging the Labor government here, Peter. They cannot stop these illegal migrants coming in. They've tried different methods. They've tried the one in, one out policy. That doesn't seem to be working. It's failed massively. And they always here refer back to Tony Abbott's Stop the Boats policy. They keep saying, why can't we do the same here? But Peter, this sad saga continues on.
Mm. Well, the Channel is a lot smaller to police than the north of Australia. They could do it if they want to do it. It comes down to political will. There's plenty of frigates and ships in the British Navy that could be all the way along the Channel and hold back that push from France, but it's whether they want to do it or not. My husband's in London at the moment, and he was in central London yesterday and sent me some pictures about farmers and tractors coming in about 10:30 last night, gearing up for a huge rally you've got at the moment over these inheritance tax changes. What can you tell us?
Well, that's right, Peter. I was in Westminster last night. Here's some of the vision I took on my iPhone of these tractors, which have been barreling through Westminster in central London for several months now at various times, protesting against changes to the inheritance tax, which will hit a lot of farmers here. Some of the messaging on these tractors basically said, no Christmas if there's no farmers, messaging that they're getting slugged too much with tax changes here by the Labor government. It was a very sort of raucous protests through Westminster last night, Peter, as you could see with those tractors. They were tooting their horns. Had all Christmas decorations across the vehicles. They're furious at the Labor government, and this is yet another issue that has really been a problem for the Labor government and is no doubt hurting them in the polls.
And it's interesting, Soph, just as we're going, it's interesting that every time we talk about these issues, we're talking about reform and we're talking about Labor, and there's barely a mention of the Tories. The Conservative Party, are they in the game or have they given up?
Well, a lot of the political commentary here, Peter, in recent weeks is that the Conservative leader, Kemi Badenoch, has definitely improved. She's come out on the attack and been very successful in attacking the Labor government in recent weeks. She's been much more stronger in her messaging. But Peter, it's no doubt Reform has got all the momentum. Tories are improving, but they've got an awfully long way to go because Reform are leading every poll day in, day out.
Right, I'll leave it there. Enjoy London. It's a very special time of year with all the Christmas lights out there. We can see some behind you. Thanks, Sophie.